Good day. God bless you guys. Welcome back. My name is Zach, and this is episode 59 in the Healthy, Wealthy, Happy series. Proverbs chapter 16, verse 3 commit your work to the Lord, and your plans will be established. All right, guys. I got my chips here. I'm counting all my food today, but they're all left because today is a fasting day. So we don't need those. We don't need no stinking chips on a fasting day. Motivation quote: to fall in love with yourself is the first secret to happiness. And you guys, I really am feeling that is the biggest difference in my success right now. Since December 5th or whenever I started this channel, is that I just committed to take care of myself like somebody that I care about. You know, it sounds kind of silly, but people are more willing to take care of their cats and dogs and fish and obviously their children. Far better than they're willing to take care of themselves. Cheers, cheers. Um, yeah, my work week. One of the commenters said, "Have a great weekend." It's like my first day of work was today, so I work a weird shift. I work 4 days on and then 4 days off. So today, this week, I work Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Thank you for whoever liked the video already. I got one like right away, like on every video now. Guys, yesterday I talked about the couch to 5K. You know, what are you working on? What are you doing in the gym? And so I said I was going to download the Couch to 5K app, even though I've ran way more than a 5K. I've let myself go a little bit the last year dating the wrong woman, so I didn't really work out as much. So I downloaded the app at work today, and I got off work. I went to the gym, and I just did the first training session, and it was just real easy. You know, the Couch to 5K is a great app to. There's hundreds of them on there on the App Store. Just whatever, just pick one. I just picked one that said Couch to 5K. So I'll just give you a quick rundown of how easy it was. It was a 5K warm up of just walking. You could walk 2 miles an hour, 3 miles an hour, whatever you want. Then 1 minute of jogging, followed by 1.5 minutes of walking, and do that 6 times. So warm up for 5 minutes, and then jog a minute, walk a minute and a half, jog a minute, walk a minute and a half. And then you just leave your phone on the treadmill and just follow along what it says. Speed up, slow down, speed up, slow down. Do that, cycle 6 times, and then walk for 5 minutes to cool down. It was a 25-minute workout, and I was out of there. So, and it felt great. I could feel my heart rate getting up a little bit on the 1 minute jogs, which is just getting back into it. And I was running between 5 and 6 miles an hour, which is a pretty slow jogging pace. But I mean, if you're out of shape, you could cut that in half, jog 4 miles an hour. You could walk 1 mile an hour and jog 3 miles, whatever, just get going. Just so, and that was this is my first day. This is my first 24 hours of fasting. So I'm water fasting 24 hours. I did take, and I'm glad I did. I took my colon cleanser when I got up this morning. Took 2 of them. It says to take 1 a day, but I've been taking 2 a day for a couple of the days. And wow, did that help? Because when you're fasting, there's nothing that causing any kind of bowel movement. So these herbs, and I went like 4 or 5 times today. It was ridiculous, and it was amazing. And with all the vegetables I've been eating, it really cleaned me out well. So I hate to be so brutally honest about it, but that's just the way it is. So I wanted to talk about, I feel great after a 24-hour fast. I feel way better than I did yesterday after, just eating after the last 4 days of eating. Even my small meals, and I didn't get all tired after my meals, but even as good as I was feeling eating, I feel even better fasting. And it made me think about people have asked me at work or friends or coworkers or just acquaintances, like, oh, you're fasting. And I just started some of the things they commonly say. And it's just always the same old, which if you can't handle it, that's why I say, don't even tell people your fitness routine and your diet routine, because the haters just come out of the woodwork everywhere. It's like, you just can't improve yourself in any way without somebody wanting to try to hold you back and bring you down. But I do notice one of the first things people say is it hard? Like, oh, that, or like, they just say, I couldn't do that. I could never do that. It's like, well, we're both human beings and I do it easily. So of course you could do it. It's your state of mind that is just so out of it that it's your excuses. People are just so comfortable with their excuses that they believe their excuses are the ones that are the real ones. And it's like, I'm telling you, your excuses are not the real ones. Everybody has problems. Everybody has issues. I mean, fasting is a way to solve the problems. It's not a problem. It's not, it is the excuse to do it. I'm unhealthy. I don't sleep well. I'm overweight. I have medical conditions. I have, this, that. Fasting solves them problems. It isn't a part of the problem. But I'm just saying that, like, the haters are going to always try to drag you down. Or the one I got it to this a couple few rounds of fast ago, just the second they hear, one of my friends asked me, "Oh, you're fasting again?" Next guy standing there, "Oh, that's not good for you." And just out of nowhere, before they even, I said, "Oh, okay. I would love to read about where you got your information. Can you tell me where you got that? I love to see some documentation and some studies that have done about, how unhealthy fasting is." Yes, there's articles online you could find on both cases, but very few about negative effects of fasting. Are there negative effects? Sure. Like, toxins are being released out of your fat cells at a rapid rate, and so now you have more toxins in your blood than you would when you're eating. Now, does that sound negative or does that sound positive? You could say that's negative, because sometimes you actually feel pretty shitty at about 72 hours into a fast, 96 hours in, because you're really detoxing. And then it's really important to be drinking the water. And yeah, exactly. People. Yeah, the commenter was saying how, excuses, they just give comfort to people, and that's exactly what I was thinking of today. It's like they're in their comfort zone. They don't want to try. That's why they always say, "Is it hard?" Why would you say, "Is it hard?" Because you're saying, "I'm not willing to do anything that's hard." You got to realize that's what, if that was your first thought to, "Is it hard?" Like, yeah, it's hard, I guess, if you're weak, like, but that's what I'm saying. Train your muscles, train your mind, do it, just do it. Quit thinking about it, quit talking about it, quit being, just be about it. Just go for it. And I knew a guy, I told him about fasting, and the very first time he tried it, he fasted 10 days. And it was just mind blowing to me, so it can be done. Um, it had taken me 20 tries to last 10 days, and he did it on his first try. So, oh, another one I got written here is people say, "Oh, don't you feel terrible? Aren't you always hungry? I could never do that." And they just, every excuse. You didn't even tell them to fast. You didn't even recommend that they should fast, and they're just all over the defense, because I don't know. I think subconsciously they must know it's the right thing to do, and it's that battle between the spirit and the flesh, and their flesh is just stabbing them in the chest, like, "Don't agree with that. We got to eat. Don't have anything to do with fasting." So, like, having said all that, it's like, why did I say that? Because when I'm fasting now, which round is this? This is the 7th round of 96-hour fast. Haven't cheated on a single one of them. Or I did eat a small meal on one of them on the second or third day. Okay, so I cheated once in 7 96-hour fasts so far. And, like, I'm at work today. I have zero hunger. Does my stomach feel like empty? Yeah, like, I think of that as I'm cleansed out. Like, I feel great. Like, that's a happy, good feeling. What's on my mind? Like I said, when you don't eat for 3, 4, 5, like, I've went up to 24 days. This is the longest I can make it. And yeah, you're thinking about food a lot. You're thinking about your favorite foods and how to cook it and how to mix. You're thinking of things you never even ate before. Like, you'll think, like, "Oh man, I want to make some fried chicken and put it in a salad." And you just I'm just thinking of things I've thought of before that I've never even done before. Like, I've never made fried chicken salad, and one time I was fasting, I was like, "Man, I just really want that right now." But my point is, now, because I'm on this mission and I have a goal and I have a date and I have a target to shoot for, that it's like, okay, you're 200 and you were 247 pounds last time you weighed in. You're fasting, so you're 24 hours in, Zach, and the blood sugar is so low now because all I eat. I didn't eat. Oh, I don't want to lie. I don't think I ate any kind of sugary anything on my last 4 days of eating. I used my chips to stay under 2,000 calories, or right around. I'm going to say I went over a couple of the days, and I probably stayed right around it the other 2 days. It's only 4 days of eating. So my blood sugar, so when you're fasting, you got to burn up all that blood sugar first, all the glycogen in your muscles and liver. And once that's all gone, in the first 12 hours, 48 hours, 24 hours, whatever it is, then you're going to start burning body fat to the tune of whatever your metabolic rate is per day of body fat, calories and body fat. So according to my muscle mass, if you get online and look up like basal metabolic rate, how old are you, how tall are you, but it's mostly how much muscle do you have on your body. And according to my body scale that I said, it's only like $100 little fitness scale where it's got the metal electrodes. You put your feet on there and you connect it to your phone app, and it shows you like I have 8.8 pounds of bone and 48% water, which is a little low, 22% protein, which is a little high. Body fat percentage, it's high. I don't even want to say, but I don't remember. It's the obese, body fat percentage. But my muscle mass is like 178 pounds, 177 pounds, something like that. So it's a ton of muscle, which that's what kind of establishes your basal metabolic rate. So at that amount of muscle on my body, to just lay around and do nothing, my body's burning about 2,500 calories a day. So when I'm not eating, those calories are going to come from my body fat. And no, they do not come from your muscle. Your body does not immediately start breaking down muscle until you are, until you have like no fat left. Like it will burn. The fat is for fuel. It's why it's there. Your body actually starts creating more testosterone and more growth hormone and starts not replicating the protein synthesis. Your body normally kills and replaces about 50 grams of protein per day out of your body. But when you're fasting, it stops doing that. So it's not even, it's preserving your muscle in every way it can to fast. I'm just wanting to do this little equation real quick. If I divide 3,500 by 2,500, I did it backwards. 3,500 by 2,500. Oh my God, I did it backwards again. So my basal metabolic rate while I'm fasting would burn 0.714 pounds of body fat per day. So in 4 days of fasting, I should lose like 2.85 pounds of pure body fat, not just pounds of weight, because your weight can be all over the place. Like I said, just on what I drink, if you drink a gallon of water, you could I could easily drink, could I drink 2 gallons of water safely? I could probably drink 2 gallons of water safely for a few days. You don't want to overdo the water too much, flush out all your electrolytes. But if I was getting enough sodium and potassium and magnesium and, all my electrolytes and drank 2 gallons of water a day for a week, I would weigh significantly more. Like I could do it while fasting and gain weight, right? And you're actually burning 0.71 pounds of body fat per day. So the scale really, you got to remember, and that's what came to my mind today. It's like I'm in the zone where I'm burning almost 3/4 of a pound of pure body fat per day while fasting. And I'm wanting to extend the fast. We'll see. I kind of want to stick to this program just because I established it all the way until April 1st. But who knows? April 1st might come along and I might just kick off like, hey, you know what? I'm feeling amped and I'm going to do a 7-day or an 8-day or a 10-day fast and just show that, how great you can feel and how easily it can be done. I mean, I'm doing the 4 days and I'm feeling a little shitty on the 4th day every day, every week, every time I do it. But I really feel it's a psychological thing more than a physical thing, because every day because I'm at work on my 4th day of fasting, because I fast during my 4 days of work week. And I'm at work and I know I get to eat after work and I start thinking about food and I start eyeballing. I'll walk by the lunchroom and see some sandwiches in the case, food cases in there. And I'll really start thinking about food. Even your mouth will start salivating. Your brain will start releasing hormones, the ghrelin and the peptid YY and the different hormones for hunger and satiety. I got to look them up again so I can write them down and actually know what I'm talking about. But if you listen to the Audible book I had recommended by Dr. Jason Fung, the obesity code or the diabetes code, out of the two, I recommend the obesity code because it totally covers everything. I believe that the diabetes code, it's like the diabetes code was just more specific to diabetes, but if you're fat, that's how you get diabetes. I mean, overeating carbs and overeating sugar and especially processed and refined grains, processed flour and white sugar, it's just terrible poison for you. So Guys, I have my nighty night tea. I've been forgetting to drink it, and I've still been sleeping great. But today, after my little workout, because sometimes, especially when I'm fasting and I work out, you get amped, and you need a little help to sleep. Mm. So, all right, guys. Oh, so it's Sunday, it's weird to me because it's like a Monday to me. And some weekends I get a lot more subs than other days. Like like I've been like on Friday I had 622. Some days I've been forgetting to write it. But then on Saturday I had 11 more. But then today I got like 25 more or something. So thank you guys to the new subs. Thanks for joining the team. I hope some more people can hit that notification bell so we can get more likes and more live viewers and more people chatting and talking about what's going on, how you're doing, where your journey is, where you want to be, what your goals are, what targets you've set out in front of yourself. Like just look. So I started the channel with lofty goals. Like I'm going to lose 100 pounds, which, like I said, I was 315 pounds. So when I get to 215, that will already be 100, but I'm not even counting that because I started the channel at 270 and I want to get down to 170. Although the girl I've been talking to, she's very motivational and she's like, I think you can go down to 150. And I'm like, step up my game. I love it. I love it. This is the kind of woman I'm looking for. No excuse, oh, Zach, you've been working out so hard. You can take a day off. Nah. Step up your game. Thank you, brother. Thank you. I'm always gonna come on here. I hit when I work my 12 hours, and if I hit the gym that I did, that just burns up my whole day. Like I'm drinking my nighttime tea. It's 8:15. I'll be up for another 2 hours tops. I'll probably just do a little. I'll do a little Audible book on my "Make Your Brain Your Bitch" is what I'm listening to right now. I've listened to it, at least 2 or 3 times before. It's a newer one I got on there, but I highly recommend you just do something to educate yourself every day. I enjoy. Yo practico español en mi teléfono todo el tiempo, but I still suck at Spanish. But I try. It's something fun, to occupy your time. Like, what do you do? Like growing up, it was like you do drugs and you drink and and you rob businesses, whatever. We're just hoodlums. And when none of that is a part of your life anymore, what do you do? I know what I like to do the most, but that's not always available if I don't have a girlfriend. But besides that, it's learning and self-improvement, and like the quote for today is, to fall in love with yourself. And it can sound a little self-centered, conceited, and it just depends on the way you're looking at it. The way I look at it, coming from somebody that has, been more like self-abusive. I mean, when I was a kid, I literally would cut and burn myself severely. There's scars and burns all over my arms. um so for somebody to encourage me to love myself would probably be a good thing. So I'm encouraging myself to love me. I'm encouraging you to fall in love with yourself, and not to the point of like self pride, but I'm talking about to the point of like self care, self love, to place yourself. You don't have to say I'm the most important thing in the universe. What you have to do is say I'm important. I'm worthy of care. I care about myself. The Bible uses the word love. It's translated charity in a lot of verses, because charity is something you give and love is something you give. And so give yourself, be charitable to yourself. Give yourself the tools you need, give yourself the rewards. You guys, I give yourself this gift of trying and trying to self-improve. It becomes very rewarding and very fulfilling and satisfying in life. Just running one run today on this Couch to 5K, and I feel like I accomplished something, that there's a goal and I have a plan to reach that goal, and I did the plan and I got closer to the goal. That's one of the definitions of fulfilling life, of being happy. What makes you happy? There's going to be misery in life. I understand that. Let's not try to pretend like life is all just joy, because it's not. But to build yourself up to the point where you can feel the happiness when happiness is there, and you can weather the storm when the storm comes. And my Christianity is a big part of that. I don't want to, I'm not trying to get deep into Bible verses or anything yet, because as long as I have studied the Bible, I should be such a better Bible student than I am. And I'm just not. And, I know people that have studied the Bible far less years, decades than I have, and they seem to have it pretty well memorized compared to me. But, I live it. I do it. I'm never giving up. I'm always something is established in me from childhood. Just, I'm a fighter, whether it's physical fights or spiritual fights or emotional fights. It's just, challenging myself, which is my favorite kind of fighting. I really enjoy and I got to find some more of these Facebook groups that or maybe I'll start one that just document. They just say like I said, the one I did not last summer, but the summer before, where it was just walk between Memorial Day and Labor Day. There's 100 days between Memorial Day, which is like end of May 30th, or Sunday. I think it's the last Sunday of May, whatever. It's right at the end of May. And then Labor Day is 100 days later. And I walked over 750 miles just because of that little Facebook. Nobody talked to me. Nobody motivated me. Nobody said good job to anybody. We just posted on this list of how many miles we walked. And I would see people's name and I would see how many miles they went. I'd even go for like a 10-mile walk in the morning. Let's say on a Saturday morning, get out there for 3 hours and just knock out a 10-miler. And then I'd look and I'd see, oh, this woman went out and she walked this morning too. And I'd get back out and walk another 10 miles. I remember the one Saturday I ended up walking like 23 and a half miles. It's just like all day, just walking, not all day, but a lot of the day, because I was going back home a couple times. So those things like that, like I said, then you have a goal. You're like, okay, Labor Day is 100 days from now, if it's Memorial Day. And then you're just gonna set a goal for yourself. And I had set the goal. It was like 150, 250, 350 or something. That there was 3 different pages on this worksheet. It was one of those online. I can't think of the documents now. If I look on my phone, I could probably find it. But I'm talking about, where you could just make a graph and you can write your name on the left and write your miles. And so instead of putting 150, 250, 350, I just put like 750, or I might have put 1,000. I can't remember. I put some super high goal so that I would really drive myself. And out of them 100 days, I want to think of how many days that I didn't go out for a long walk, because I averaged over 7.5 miles a day. But like I said, some days I walked over 20 miles. So there was some days that I missed here and there. And there was days where I'd only go like 3, 4, 5 miles. So, there was a lot of days where I had to go 10, 11, 12, 13 miles, just regularly, just daily, just getting after it. I had a different work schedule then. I don't know if I could do it now. Well, I probably could, but I just wouldn't. I'd have to walk a lot more on my days off, because my days on are 12-hour shifts now. I don't know if I'd want to go walk 10 miles at 6:30 at night, but getting some messages. I don't know what this is, but we had a few live viewers and they all went away. I'm trying to be, exciting today, guys. I got to thank Angel. He has, or is that? Yeah, he has commented, I want to say, on the last 3 or 4 videos live. Like, he came on live every time. So I really appreciate that. If you guys could please hit the like button when you come on, smash that like thumb. It's a thing that looks like this. Because probably 5, 6, 7, 8 people. Last night's video, 14 people were on during the live stream, and only a couple hit like. So kind of shortfall there. But I get it. I think I know why people don't smash that like button very often, but doesn't really apply, because it doesn't cost anything. It doesn't do anything to your account. It doesn't show up anywhere. It's just, you like the video. You can like millions of them. All right, guys, I can feel myself running out of stuff to talk about, and I can't believe it. We're on episode 59. We're going to be pushing on that episode 100. I can't wait. We'll be close to done with this. And so talking about what I weighed in last time. Let's just brief over it again because I started the channel on like October 5th, but I didn't actually start fasting until October 20th. And I had ballooned up a little bit to 270. Probably a month before that, I was only 265, so I had kind of ballooned up like 5 pounds just out of nowhere. I had going through a breakup and just not taking care of myself and eating more after a breakup. I kind of, it's one of those poor me baby excuses to go be a fat, go eat fattening food because, you don't feel good. But anyway, that first 4-day fast just cleansed me out and I lost 14 pounds, so it shows how much of that 270 was just a lot of bloating and a lot of water weight probably. And, you get your electrolyte levels all out of whack and you're all bloated up. And it's one of the things I can notice even in my face. Like, I'm only 24 hours in, but like just looking from the 4th day of my last fast, when I look at the video and then I look at the 4th day from eating and my face is more like this. And then I look like in 3 days from now, when I'm 96 hours in again, I see where the water weight, even in my, like the, what do you call this fat right under your skin? Subcutaneous fat, like right under your skin. It's kind of cleaned out. The water's cleaned out. And I start to see the veins more. Let's see, am I getting there? Oh, I need to go to the gym some more. Great workout today though. So recapping it. Week 1, 4-day fast, 14 pounds down, weighed 256. Who cares what I weighed at the top end? I was keeping track of that, but that just means nothing to me anymore. Just eat as little as you can on your eating days. So then the next week I was 253, so that was 3 pounds down. Then the next week I was 250, so that was 3 pounds down. Then the next week I was 248, so that was 2 pounds down. Then the next week I was 250, so that was plus 2 pounds. So a couple of weeks of just stagnant kind of plateau right there, which is right about on the money where I would think, because 1, 2, 3, so for the 5th round of 96-hour fast. So like I always tell people, about 6 weeks in is where your muscle gain and your fat loss kind of levels you out for a minute, because the muscle's going up as the fat's coming down, and that muscle weighs, the muscle density is a lot higher than fat density. So you don't always weigh less, but you actually look smaller, So right in this time frame, from the time I was 250 until I was 250 again, I was actually like 253 when I saw this woman at the gym, and then 24 days later, I was only 3 pounds less. And she's like, "Wow, it looks like you lost a lot of weight." And I actually weighed about the same. So just don't get so down on yourself. Like if I was going to be a crybaby, I would have gained that 2 pounds and gave up. You know what I mean? Just shut her down. I quit. I gained 2 pounds. I fasted for 4 days and I ate for 4 days and weigh myself and I'm 2 pounds more. Like, that's ridiculous. That's not worth it. Of course it's worth it. You're going to keep on fighting and you're going to win. Winning is worth it. So keep fighting, keep getting up. So then I fasted for the 6th 96-hour fast, got down to 247, and that was minus 3 pounds. And I can just tell you by the way I feel, by the way my jeans fit today, I just feel so cleansed out. I really think this colon cleanser product, it's Body Gold colon cleanse, 9 herbs plus probiotics. And I don't assume that it has any calories. It shows that it has some potassium from potassium chloride, and then it's got like the herbal blend, and just a vegetable cellulose capsule. So it might have 1 or 2 calories, but it's not gonna do anything to a fast. But it's really, really helping move things along on these fasting days. Keep things cleansed out, which makes you feel so much better, because you get that stuff trapped in there for 3-4 days without using the bathroom because nothing's moving it because you're not eating. Which reminds me, I keep meaning to buy some laxative tea. There's very, very mild laxative teas out there where like you don't even notice, like it takes like a day for it to work. So you or like 16 hours, so you drink it like before bed, and then like the next day in the mid-afternoon, you might have to use the bathroom, and it's like just very mild. It's not all crampy or nothing, because you don't want to take any kind of laxative when you're fasting, like a normal one, like the pills, or I've never taken those kind of things. I'm not even sure if they're chewables or pills or what they are, but I think there's one like a piece of chocolate or something. I don't even know. I'm gonna have to look into that. I feel a little ignorant now that I'm bringing it up, but like those are for when you're eating and you want to cleanse out. If you took one of those when you're fasting and you started having, you would get like pretty severe stomach pains. Because I've taken some products that have given me some pretty bad stomach pains, and they weren't even the severe ones. They were like the really light ones. So anyway, I am feeling like I'm 24 hours in, and I'm feeling like I'm not much more. I almost think I'm close to 247 now. So give me 3 more days, and I should be, at least 1, maybe 2. Well, it'd be awesome if I could go down another 3. It's funny because after the 14-pound loss, I've not lost more than 3 pounds in an 8-day cycle. But I feel like there's going to be some bigger weeks coming up here because these 400-calorie meals, I got it figured out. Like this salad that I'm making, you guys, it is so good. Like I could eat it most days. I should probably quit eat because I've been eating them every day while I'm eating. I should probably tone it back just so that I don't get sick of them because they're just a great lunch. Like, you get up and you eat, I eat more of a low carb breakfast, and I don't always eat like when I say breakfast, I might be talking about 11, 12 o'clock before I eat it. And I call that my breakfast. And then my lunch, like I might eat at breakfast on a weekend on my days off. It's not always a weekend, but I might eat breakfast at like 11 a.m. and call that breakfast and have like 2 or 3 eggs and some veggies mixed, like scrambled eggs with mushrooms and onions or something. And then like 1 o'clock, eat that salad. And, it's only been 2 hours, but, then because it's just a small meal and it's training me, I want way more. Like when I was like lifting weights heavy and a big bodybuilder dude, I would scramble a dozen eggs and eat them with other food. That would be just the egg portion of the breakfast. Now I'm talking about 2, 3 eggs. These eggs I bought now, they're like the farm or the cage-free brown eggs. Supposedly no GMOs and no hormones and no vaccinations or whatever, whatever they mess up these animals with. How the hell they got these eggs so expensive now, I don't know, but they're still worth it. It's funny now because like the farm raised brown cage free eggs are cheaper than like the Walmart generic eggs. Like just because of the supply and demand, people are just used to buying those ones and they're just selling out more. So they raise the price more. You go buy the better eggs and they're significantly cheaper, like $2 a dozen cheaper. So like eggs are great. So I always eat, not always, but I mostly been eating eggs for breakfast on these eating days, and probably starting on the next 4 days of eating, I'm gonna start another playlist, or because I don't want to have eating on this portion of because this is just talking about fasting, and it's more the mental state of let's go, let's do it, let's win. I'm gonna come up with some more motivational speeches, maybe a little more. I'm just copying stuff that I've learned over the years, reading all the self-help books, but maybe come up with some a little more original, like a motivational speech or whatever. But that's kind of what this channel is about, is to get you to go, get you to do it, start trying, start failing. You have to fail to succeed. And when you have to overcome the fear of failure, it's not a big deal. You're going to lose. You're going to quit. Yesterday, I was all bummed out the whole day. I was having a terrible day. I'm not even going to lie. Like I don't even remember my stream from last night. I mean, I got through it. I was talking about winners are willing to go longer, work harder, and give more than everyone else, because I was just trying to motivate myself to not give up and stay on track. And now look, 24 hours later, haven't eaten since pretty early last night when I finished my last meal. I don't even remember what it was, but feeling great. Got a good 5K training workout in, and it's okay. I forgot to mention this. It's 8 weeks. So it's couch to 5K in 8 weeks. I mean, and it's only 3 runs a week, and it doesn't even say when to do it. I could easily, what I did today, I could easily do every day because I've ran before, but I'm just going to do it. So, like tomorrow, if I go to the gym, I'll just do like, some kettlebell swings and some planks and core workouts. And, I really been liking those. Like I love kettlebells now. They're just so awesome, dude. You just get such a full body workout. You can just do like 4 or 5 body movements, between like jump squats, or what do you call them? Burpees. Knock out some burpees and then knock out some kettlebell swings, and knock out some, some kind of lat pull down, or some kind of rubber band, just kind of working the other way, because the kettlebell swings are like working your whole back of your legs, your lower back, and, your shoulders. And then you want to work something to get your upper back and your you just do some push-ups, whatever. It's just, it doesn't have to be this big bodybuilding routine of a workout. Eat right, do some calisthenic type working out, go for a jog. You're going to feel great, you're going to live longer, you're going to be happier, you're going to perform better. Men, if you know what I'm talking about, like way, way, way better. I can't believe, before I even knew I had diabetes, I was pre-diabetic. I mean, I just didn't really take pre-diabetic seriously. I found it was funny, because I was like, why did my doctor never? It was right about the time I got divorced that my doctor told me I was pre-diabetic. I remember it was a female doctor. She was wonderful. I mean, I want to be friends with her. She was such an awesome person. And I was like, why didn't she, like, Zach, you got to get your shit in gear, man, because she was such a loving, great family doctor. My wife and kids and we all saw her, and she delivered, I think, 1 or 2 of our babies, at least one of them. She was she was young at the time when she delivered one of them. And I think she was even not interning, but like whatever, a newer doctor, because other doctors were in the room helping her deliver the baby. And anyway, my story is, I got divorced, and I packed everything up, and I got in the car, and I left. And like it was years later when I was thinking, then I found out I had diabetes, and I couldn't believe, like, why wouldn't that doctor? I remember her telling me I was pre-diabetic, but I can't believe she didn't give me more of a stern warning and a stern advice. And then I'm digging through my car, like getting an oil change, and I'm looking through the glove box, and I find a letter that I got in the mail that I must have just grabbed and threw in the car when I moved out, when I got divorced. And it's from the hospital, and I open it up, and it's a letter from that doctor. And it's like a personal letter from her to me, telling me, like, Zach, you have to change your life. You have to get this in check. You have pre-diabetes. You're overweight. You need to lose weight. You got to exercise. She's like, go see a nutritionist. Go hire a personal trainer. And I'm like, my God, why didn't I see this sooner? But, I think it was God's will. I had to actually get really bad type 2 diabetes with super, super high A1C. I'm telling you Google it. My A1C was 11.2. That is crazy high A1C, which is an average of the last 90 days of what your blood sugar would have been. And it's pretty crazy how they figured out how to even test that. But it's science backed. It's a very accurate number. It's a quality way to look. It's a better number, I think, than like you can stick your finger and check your blood sugar. And when I first got diabetes, I used to do that. I'm not even kidding, 10 times a day, because I fasted for 10 days, and then I checked it. Well, I checked it the whole 10 days even, and I watched it go down and down and down. I got diabetes that day. I bought the blood sugar meter. I tested my blood sugar like that day, and it was like 350. It was supposed to not be over 100, And then so I was already fasting, and I fasted for 10 days, and 10 days later I checked it, and it was 70, which is the bottom edge. Any lower than that, and you'd be hypoglycemic, like having low blood sugar. But as a diabetic, you just don't have to worry about that if you're not taking medication. If you're taking medication, you got to worry about low blood sugar big time. You got to worry about dying of low blood sugar if you're on diabetic medication that your doctor gave you, the shots and the pills. I mean, that shot will drop your blood sugar. If you had a blood sugar of 100, which is the high end of normal, and you don't eat and you take a shot of insulin, you could die. That's a fact. Ask your doctor. How far could one shot of insulin bring down your blood sugar? 100? Even the pill says it'll bring your blood sugar down 100. So it's like, by taking those diabetic medications, which the problem is you have too much insulin in your body, you have to take that shot or that pill. And if you do, then you have to eat carbs, which causes insulin, which is the problem. So, man, do some research, man. I'm not giving you advice. I'm saying this information is out there. This is what I've read from doctors, from diabetes doctors, from a Canadian apologist named Jason Pang. Subscribe to his channel, watch all his videos. He's pretty boring, monotone voice, I can't blame them. Your voice is your voice. You can't change it. What you look like I've always like, why do I look like this? I've always, people have treated me poorly because of the way I look. And then of course, you end up acting the way you're treated. And, I'm not even a big, like, I wouldn't even consider myself a tattoo guy, like, and then look at my body. It's like, it got him, like I responded to the way I was being viewed that way. So you're viewing me as some thug, okay, I'll play the part and look like a thug and look like a tough guy and act like a tough guy, if that's the way you're going to treat me. But when you learn to fall in love with yourself and know that that is the first secret to happiness, and then you wouldn't respond that way. One, because you won't care. Let me say it differently. You won't overreact to the way people view you, think about you. You won't. I don't want to say you won't care. I mean, you want to care what people think about you in some ways, but in most ways, no. Like, oh, what if whatever it is. Yeah. I've even stayed fat in my past. This has come to my mind. Like, well, I don't want people to think I'm all cocky and all ripped and in shape, And it's like, for real, I'm telling you, this was a state of my mind at one time in my life when I was like 315 pounds, and the funny part is I had no idea. If you would have asked me how much I weighed before I got on that scale that day, I probably would have said like 270. Like, I don't know, I'm pretty big. I was literally like 45 pounds heavier than I thought I was. Just not even having weighed myself. I was divorced for, I think I had been divorced for about 2.5 years at that point. When I got divorced, I was pretty big, but not no 315. I was maybe more like 275 at the biggest. And then, up and down when I was married too. Never could really get into a routine with my ex-wife either, as far as like diet and exercise and fitness. I was just never, she ended up having to get, surgery to save her life from being so obese, so not blaming her. Like, I was right there with her. We both went. I mean, I was right out of the army when I met her, and she was right out of high school. So she was 18 and I was like 27. But I was pretty immature, I think, for a 27-year-old, and it showed. I totally married the wrong person, and I think she probably weighed about 130 pounds, and I weighed about 190, and 10 years later, we both we tried to double them numbers up. So again, thank you guys for subscribing. Please feel free to go vote on the. So like I said, I'm like up to, I think I was 256 or 7 or 8 subscribers, and still there's only 10 votes on the poll. I think I might have to repost it. I don't know if it goes away and come, but it's still sitting there. It's just it's just a way to engage with the channel, and will Zach lose? Will I lose? -30, -40, -50, or over 50? And I don't know. I'm feeling the 30 is about to hit. What was I at to start? 270, 260, 250. So I got to get to 240. So I should probably hit 240 by the 8th fast. And then hopefully by the 10th fast, I'm hitting like 230, because I got to step up my game here. By the 12th fast, I'm within that striking distance. So by that 13th fast, I could make a push to hit that 218. And like I said, that when that day ends, when that 4th day fast, April 1st is actually 4 days later. So that'll be 4 days of eating and then weigh in. So like I said before, that might turn into an 8-day fast, which would be great. It'd be fun for me to push beyond, and we could see too. And I might try to do it before that. I don't want to say that I'm going to extend this fast an extra day, because I've done that before and then it got in my head and I got all messed up. So I'm going to just see what happens as this week goes by and next week. But what I'm feeling like, why I'm telling you I feel so great right now is 100%. It's my state of mind that feels great right now, because I'm in that zone. I'm moving past the negative things of the past, the relationships, the drama, the stress and anxiety. It's like, let it go, man. Let it go. There's happiness forward, up this hill, up this mountain is where happiness is. And the happiness comes in the climb. That's what I said. Give yourself this reward of trying to run a 5K. It is extremely rewarding. Give yourself the reward of saying, okay, Zach says he's going to lose mad amount of weight by April 1st. Set it into your mind to lose 5 pounds by April 1st. To lose, what's it? February 5th. So in April 1st is not even 2 months away. You could say, let's shoot for 1 pound a week till April 1st and just average it out and say you're going to try to lose 10 pounds. Give yourself that gift of a goal, and the universe will conspire to make it happen. When I say universe, I mean the Holy Spirit, the God in heaven, his son, Jesus Christ, who sits at the right hand of the Father. They will conspire with your will to make it happen. You are filled with Christ. What was your yesterday's Bible verse? Like, don't you know to treat your body like a temple because you receive the Holy Spirit from God? You received the Spirit that's in you from God. So be good to yourself. Take care of yourself like somebody you care about. Love yourself like somebody you love. When I was driving the other day and I thought to myself, what advice would I give for somebody if I told them I was going to, what would be like the top 5 things I would do? And I said, no, I should make it, what would be the 5 things I tell somebody I love? Because I always think of my sons when I think of just great love and all my children. And I realized, oh my God, I just basically said I don't love myself because I had to switch it to somebody I love. So, but talking about the 5 things again, it would be, like I've said the whole time, the physical things you're doing are, replacing anything you drink with only drink water and tea and an occasional beer and an occasional glass of wine. But 99%, 95% water, or maybe even 80% water, because I drink quite a bit of tea. Like I drink 2 or 3 cups of black tea every morning at work, and it's 20 ounces, 100. So yeah, you could say 15% I drink of my liquid intake is tea, and then the rest is water. And like I said, it's February 5th. I've had 1 beer so far this year, and I'm feeling I do want another one. I just don't want it now. I mean, obviously, I'm not gonna have it on a fasting day, but I'm gonna maybe bring it on. I want to get one of them big. It's a Foster's Lager, but it's like a 25-ounce can. We're just gonna count it as one, But I'll be wrecked if I drink that thing. I should drink it on live stream and just watch how silly I get off of one beer. Like, oh my God, I used to, people saw me drink a case of beer just before I went to the bar to save money, so that I was already a little buzzed up before I got there. No, there's no way that would be an 18-month supply of beer. But like I said, that would be the number one thing. Number 2, talking about physical things that you're doing would be go for walks. I wouldn't have said this 6 months ago, but being that I'm coming from an overeating background, not everybody's fat because they overeat. Some people are just overweight because of their just completely sedimentary lifestyle and just really shitty diet as far as carbohydrates go. Like I've heard people, they're eating small meals, but let's just say they're eating 2 donuts for breakfast, which is not a huge amount of calories. It might only be 500 calories, but it's pure sugar, so that's going to end up having just a terrible effect on your blood sugar and your insulin, and it's going to store it as fat, if you don't do anything to burn it off. If you're a marathon runner, you can get up and eat 2 donuts all the time. It stores in your muscles, doesn't store an ounce of it as fat, a gram of it as fat. So, you got to start where you are. Like I said, you MapQuest something, it asks you where you are and where you're going. It doesn't ask you where you've been, but where we are, we have to play a little bit about where we've been, or I mean, where we are even more than MapQuest, because where we are is determining how to get where we go. And it's not all that unhealthy to eat carbs. It's really, carbs are healthy. They are tons, all the salad, every ingredient I put in my salad is almost pure carbs. It's high fiber, which is undigestible carbs, but still it is carbs. So carbs are good for you, but obviously, donuts are not good for you. They're less not good for you for somebody that can run a marathon and has a super high glycogen storage capacity. It's almost like they have a buffer to the poison. Their body is literally going to store it into their muscle cells and their liver because they have, when you're obese, like when I was 315 pounds, I probably didn't have the ability to store more than 1,500 calories of carbs in my muscles and my liver. And you can Google this and look it up. It's a known, it's well documented scientific health and nutrition information. Where, a long distance runner, especially long distance runners, because they've trained their body to have a high storage capacity to be able to run that far without collapsing. You can also burn fat when you're running that far, but most of them do not get on a fat burning diet to run with fat. They run with carbs as fuel instead of fat as fuel. And they might have I don't want to say too high, but let me just say like 4,000 or 5,000. I think it could even go higher. Calorie storage capacity, so, like if a runner went for a long run after dinner last night, let's say they eat dinner at 5:30 and then at 7:30 on a summer evening, he went for a little 8-mile jog down the road, up and down some hills, and got all sweaty and got home and showered and went to bed. The next day when he got up, he could probably eat 6 donuts for breakfast and have not a gram of it stored as fat. Whereas 315-pound Zach, drank beer and pizza all night and then got up and ate a donut. And that donut, literally like 100% of it would get stored as body fat because there's already more sugar in your blood than it wants. That's why you're pre-diabetic. That's why you get diabetes. There's just too much sugar in there. So then you eat a donut for breakfast, or 2 or 3 or 4, because you're 315. That's how you got that way. And your body just pumps out tons more insulin, way, way, way more than a healthy amount. Like I've read that it can make, like, a normal amount is X, and then it's like 20X times the amount of insulin in your bloodstream to force all that sugar into where? There's no room in your liver and there's no room in your muscles because you don't work out and you don't have any kind of glycogen storage capacity. So it just pumps it straight back into your fat and your fat cells, which everybody has the same amount of fat cells. It's just there's fat in them or not. So that's why like liposuction is not such a great idea, because you're sucking out fat cells that your body's going to replace. It'll replace them with fat cells that aren't full of fat, but it's really not a permanent solution. Your body's going to just, however many millions or billions of fat cells there are in your body normally, you suck a bunch of them out of your abdomen and your body's just going to replace them. They won't be full of fat yet, but if you don't change anything in your life, it's going to fill them up full of fat again anyway. So it seems a bit of a waste. Since all these problems can be cured naturally, these sicknesses and diseases, and overweight is a big cause of them all. If you look in like what percentage of people that die of, and just Google anything that people die of, and then Google if they die of it more often while they're fat or overweight, obese, morbidly obese. I was looking at the BMI chart today, and since I lost like 20 pounds so far, I'm at least out of the extremely obese range now. I'm in just the regular obese. And then I think, what did I say? It was 210 or something like that, or 200. I can't remember, to get into the overweight category. And then I got to get to 170, 80, 160 to be in the normal range. Cause I'm only like 5'8", 5'8.5", but I always count it as 5'8". And when I look at BMI charts, cause I don't want it, cause 5'9", I might be like 5'8 3/4, but why round up when, you need to be healthy, lose more weight. So my healthy BMI says my maximum weight is 160 pounds. Otherwise, I'm overweight. But I set the goal at 170 because I've seen myself at 170. And I have like over 170 pounds of muscle on my body now. So there's going to have to be some body transformation going on, extreme, to get to that point. But I do plan on getting there. I just want to be a skinny, jacked, and tan old man someday in 50 years when I actually look old. I mean, come on, guys, be honest. When you watch this video, I don't care if you're viewing live or you watch it tomorrow or the next day, be honest. how old do you think I look? I mean, I've already said I'm 50 100 times, but do you think I look 50? Come on. Do I really? I mean, come on, guys. Look more like 25 at the most, right? 29 tops. But I'm just wanting to stay young, feel great, be in shape, stay alive longer for my children and for my wife once I find her and marry her. It was funny, a couple of weeks ago when I was getting my passport, the guy next to me was getting a marriage license, and then I heard the women talking to each other. They're like, "Wow, love is in the air today. So many people came and got their marriage license." I said, "Well, it's also love in the air. That's why I'm getting my passport, is so I can go overseas and get my wife, and then I'll come back and get the marriage license." And they're all laughing. So anyway, guys, we're almost coming up on that hour, and that kind of gets to be a long video for you guys to watch. Please hit that like button, hit the comments, vote on the poll, jump on board with Jesus, because he is the winning team. He fought the battle, he won. You get on his team and you win too. So Jesus loves you, I love you, and I'll catch up with you guys again tomorrow night.